Hello students, welcome to the lecture on self-employment. And after this lecture we will be able to learn the following objectives. Explain the concept of self-employment. Describe the evolution of self-employment economic theories. Understand the psychological theories of self-employment. Define the skills needed to succeed with self-employment. Explain the self-employment tax. Discuss the self-employment ideas. Let's start with a brief introduction to self-employment. Self-employment is a form of labor market status which may encompass a wide range of different activity. Individuals may choose to be self-employed for many different reasons, and as a result, the self-employed as a group may be highly heterogeneous.
Self-employed versus employee. Are multi-level marketing opportunities worth the gamble? My name is Kyle Farley, and in this video, I just want to explain to you the difference between being self-employed and being an employee, and how multi-level marketing opportunities really aren't that much of a gamble. I'm the founder and creator of CreativeNetworkMarket.com, and you can visit the site to get more free advice on multi-level marketing or network marketing online. It's a proven fact that multi-level marketing provides opportunities for members to become millionaires, and most take home at least 5-figure incomes. Of course, you could take a cautious approach to life and stay employed at a traditional company and work at 9 to 5. But at the end of the day, it depends what you want from life. Financial independence and freedom to do what you want, where you want, or the safety of the rat race. As an employee, even though you may be highly dedicated and work extremely hard, there are a few chances of being well paid. Unless you're a yes man and toe the company line, you have to look hard for those 5-figure contracts. When you do get to the top, demands are higher and your stress levels only increase. On the flip side, being an employee does have its advantages. You receive a regular income each month, so you know what to budget and what you have to live to. Working for a company or small business offers some financial security, including paid holidays, pension funds, and possibly even other benefits depending on your status within the company. But ask yourself whether your job is fulfilling. Is your job providing a fulfilling future for you and your family? Is it giving you what you want? If the answer to this question is no, you should consider a change of direction. Try being your own boss. Viable and successful multi-level marketing companies provide you with opportunities to make excellent money, spend more time with your family, and actually work from home or anywhere else that you want to. You receive an income from a multi-level marketing business for the sales that you generate and the sales that you recruit your downline to make. Ultimately, you get a percentage of their commissions. Join a reputable multi-level marketing business that has an outlined and legal compensation plan, providing you and all the other members with the financial security that you want, as well as the financial security that the company wants. Basically, you will become financially independent and be self-employed. The one thing to remember though is that even though you're self-employed, you will very rarely be left on your own. You will often have a mentor to help you, to train you on, teach you the proven sales techniques, but help you also to stick to the system. If you stick to the business model that you've been provided by the multi-level marketing business, you're on course for success. The amount of money you make depends on how much time and effort you are prepared to put in. Tax write-offs, including the cost of your home office, cost of samples and supplies, costs of seminars, can all be deducted because effectively it's your own business. However, I would always say that you have to always seek advice from your accountant. Despite the many benefits of multi-level marketing companies and what they offer you, there can be pitfalls with bad eggs. So, research the company you're considering properly. Talk to other recruits and go to marketing meetings. Ignore the pressures that come from your sponsor. Do your own research. Multi-level marketing companies with a proven business model allow you to make more money than an average employee position. but you also get the freedom and satisfaction of being self-employed.
For some, self-employment may be chosen as the only available alternative to unemployment. Indeed, in many developing economies, self-employment may be viewed as a form of informal sector employment activity. A substantial body of research investigates the self-employed as entrepreneurs, using self-employment as an observable category which, albeit imperfectly, identifies the stock of entrepreneurial talent in the economy. Let's now study about the self-employment concepts. Self-employment category is widely used both in foreign scientific literature and in employment and unemployment empirical studies. However, the analysis showed that, contrary to the concept of entrepreneurship, self-employment concept is analyzed very narrowly, providing only a description of the concept in a particular country. This phenomenon is analyzed only from the subject's, self-employed person's, social security point of view. Self-employment can be regarded as the simplest type of entrepreneurship because self-employment rarely requires significant financial investments, advanced management skills, or understanding of the legal scheme for setting up or operating a business. Effective but risky form of entrepreneurship, providing individuals a sense of independence, higher self-assessment, and more satisfying lives. Most often used as a measure to identify the degree of entrepreneurship in empirical. Enterprises employing several persons. A broad category that includes persons having high and low levels of education, and who may have or not have hired workers. A person's work in his or her business, which provides him a profit. A phenomenon when people instead of paid employment decide to become self-employed. Let us discuss about the evolution of self-employment economic theories. There are very few economic theories exclusively dealing with self-employment in the literature. The most likely reason is that economic theories that analyze self-employment and entrepreneurship often coincide and supplement each other. One of them is occupational choice theory. Earlier studies of occupational choice theory mainly focus on the neoclassical theory of human capital. Example, individuals are more likely to choose a profession that offers the highest possible earnings in the future value. The traditional equilibrium models in the economy consider only one choice, the choice of the employee among various professions. However, scientists have made considerable effort trying to create a wider choice of models, explaining the labor market. In entrepreneurial economy, there are three classical occupational choice models analyzing entrepreneurship as one of the possible alternatives in the labor market. One of the first scientists proposed a static model in which a person, depending on the management skills, can choose from two options, paid employment and entrepreneurship management. The model states that individuals choose between risky decision to manage an enterprise or less risky and less paid work in hired employment. According to the researchers, people differ in what level of risk they assume. Example, people who tend to take greater risks will choose entrepreneurship, and among entrepreneurs, the larger business enterprises will be managed by those whose risk-taking level will be higher. More recently, it suggests that the economy is unstable, has created a model in which individuals constantly facing the new opportunities of technological progress set up their own businesses, but differ from each other in the business of survival probability. Let's move to sociological, psychological theories of self-employment. It examined the migration of individuals between self-employment and hired employment have found that lower-paid employees, maybe unemployed, low-income workers, frequently changing work people, are more likely to become self-employed as well as those who are more confident have more chance to start a business. These are the propositions that one tried to substantiate by sociological, psychological theories. The development of self-employment most scientists tend to ground on sociological disadvantage theory. The theory explains unequal participation of a person in the labor market. Example, most sensitive to labor market changes, labor market force, women, youth, elderly, disabled, ethnic minorities, persons of different race, immigrants, and unemployed. As a means to avoid unemployment, choose self-employment. The disadvantage theory states that workers with low labor market opportunities become self-employed more often. However, the theory argues that at the same time that self-employed persons are reluctant to become entrepreneurs. This proposition is referred to the theory based on the fact that individuals treat self-employment as a survival strategy, rather than generator of ideas or source of higher income. Cultural theory is one of the oldest theories that can explain the differences arising among entrepreneurs. Its pioneer, Max Weber, argues that differences between entrepreneurs in each country emerge due to the existing distinctive cultural norms and values. Light's cultural theory states that some immigrants are more likely to go into business than others because of their socio-cultural origins. Cultural theory argues that ethnic minorities and immigrants have cultural characteristics: commitment to hard work, membership of a minority community, economical livelihood, risk-taking, social values, loyalty and unity, as well as the tendency toward self-employment. Presumptions of both the disadvantage and cultural theories are complemented by the third one. Example, middleman-minority theory. Middleman-minority concept is used to describe national minorities, usually immigrants, who are victims of discrimination and has no command chain status in society. It argues that middleman-minorities theory states that a certain minority group exists as service suppliers to consumers or ethnic minorities that do not engage in the business. Scientists examine that the non-financial objectives, for example, the way to realize their ideas, the desire to be master of himself and others, starting from self-employment activities. Self-employment tends to identify the origin of self-employment with the human motivation hierarchy, which was first proposed by Maslow. Maslow's theory claims that firstly, the lowest level needs are met, and then only a higher level ones. Higher level of wealth causes the need for self-expression and thus may lead to self-employment. Conclusion: the sociological, psychological theories mainly grounds individuals' motivation to pursue self-employment, not only because of the limited opportunities for ethnic minorities, immigrants, women, and young persons in the labor market for hired employment, but also due to the aim to satisfy higher level needs. Now we will study about what skills are needed to succeed with self-employment. As more people find themselves without jobs due to shifts in the economy, the number of people who choose to establish themselves as freelancers or home business owners is growing at a rapid pace. However, not everyone will be successful with an endeavor of this type. Choosing to start a small business and become one of the self-employed requires a few basic skills and talents in order to succeed. If one is currently considering the idea of self-employment, here are some points to consider. People who work at home require a high level of self-discipline. People who are self-employed must be prepared to handle necessary tasks that are not directly in line of their expertise. Another important function in the world of self-employment is learning how to sell oneself to new clients. This is much more complicated than simply filling out a job application and having an interview with a personal director. As any independent contractor or freelance professional knows, the home or small business is not going to begin turning a profit immediately in most cases. It will take time to build the foundation, secure clients, and become a profitable venture. Different types of self-employment opportunities. Various self-employment opportunities exist for those with an entrepreneurial spirit. Opportunities range from small at-home operations to full-scale retail and commercial endeavors. Options include businesses focused on administrative tasks, homemade goods, skilled or trade-based services, and many others. Small home-based businesses are a way for many to start out in self-employment. These businesses offer a taste of self-employment, often with less investment and capital needs, yet still provide the many benefits of self-employment, such as personal freedom. Providing administrative and clerical tasks for clients is one option for a home-based business, and an example of one of the many self-employment opportunities. Starting a business dealing with homemade goods is also one of the various self-employment opportunities. Baked goods, food products, and crafts can provide a venue for expressing creativity while enjoying the profits that can stem from self-employment opportunities. Catering, cake decorating, and baked breads can be sold online or through an agreement with a local retailer. Crafts, including artwork, pottery, and jewelry, can also be sold in the same. Those specializing in a specific skill can also become self-employed by striking out on their own. Specific self-employment opportunities may require needs beyond what can be handled out of a home office. Restaurants and retail establishments are also just a few of the options for self-employment for those with a specific product or market niche in mind. Sources of self-employment advice. Self-employment includes business ownership, sole proprietorship, freelancing, or contracting. The best sources of self-employment advice will vary depending upon the particular information one is looking for. Some of the best sources of self-employment advice for the entrepreneur might include government associations, tax professionals, marketing experts, and like-minded individuals who are currently self-employed. If an individual is seeking information on starting a small business or sole proprietorship, government and small business associations can often provide a wealth of information. These associations are often listed in local phone directories or can be found through an internet search. They can frequently provide guidance on planning, marketing, advertising, finance, employment, and legal issues. Once a business, sole proprietorship, or freelancing occupation has been established, the self-employed individual may need help with some more specific areas, such as marketing, taxes, or financial affairs. Legal and tax issues may require professionals' knowledge in those particular fields. Self-employed individuals are responsible for a number of taxes they would not otherwise be responsible for. For advertising advice, a self-employed individual may find it helpful to contact marketing experts or advertising agents. A large amount of information about marketing strategies and advertising techniques can also be found online. Networking with individuals in a particular field can be done easily and conveniently by getting involved in online forums and groups pertaining to the specific field or area in which the business specializes. Different types of self-employment grants. Most self-employment grants are either private grants presented to an individual by a company or private organization, or government grants awarded by someone by a federal or local agency. Private grants are given to a self-employed individual or small business by a private company, usually an entrepreneurial business that supports self-employed individuals who are just starting off, or foundations started to help small businesses. There are also self-employment grants offered by government agencies in some areas, and these can be federal grants provided by government at a national level, or grants given out at a more local level. Self-employment grants are forms of funding provided to individuals who are self-employed, usually through a small business or home business. These grants are awarded to those deemed most in need or worthy of such assistance. Typically do not need to be paid back and can be used to help a self-employed individual stay in business or get started. Private self-employment grants come from a private organization, not through governmental support or sponsorship. These organizations can be businesses looking for ways to support other businesses or foundations started to provide grant money to small businesses in need of assistance. Care should be taken by anyone looking for self-employment grants. However, as there are a number of offers designed to scam self-employed individuals out of money through such grants. Some companies claim to assist small businesses with finding grants, but charge unnecessary fees and provide little real help. Difference between being employed and self-employed. There are many differences between being employed and self-employed. One of the main differences between being employed and self-employed is the fact that there are completely different sets of tax laws in most countries. Self-employed individuals have what is known as sole proprietorship. Many people enjoy the independence obtained through self-employment. The trade-off is that self-employed individuals do not receive paid sick leave or retirement funds from an employer, and in many countries are responsible for their own health insurance. Another difference between being employed and self-employed is that if there is no work for a self-employed person, there is no pay. There is also no avenue under sole proprietorship for workers' compensation if an injury occurs. Being self-employed also has a number of advantages over being employed by a company or business. A self-employed individual is in charge of the business. Responsibility for themselves and others in the workplace is a key factor. The individual has the freedom to do things as he or she sees necessary instead of answering to a boss or supervisor. Let us discuss about self-employment tax. In the United States, self-employment (SE) tax is the tax primarily levied upon individuals who work for themselves, self-employed people. It is a Social Security and Medicare tax that is very similar to the taxes withheld from the wages of people employed by another person or business employees. Sole proprietors, owners of small businesses, and independent contractors are examples of self-employed people. One can be self-employed and work part-time or full-time as long as one is working for oneself. Basically, if one works for oneself and does not pay the tax, one must pay this tax. To pay self-employment tax, the taxpayer must have a Social Security number, SSN, or alternatively, an Individual Taxpayer Identification Number, ITIN. SSNs may be applied for using Form SS5. Non-resident aliens and resident aliens that do not have and are ineligible for a SSN will receive a ITIN form, the Internal Revenue Service, IRS. ITIN applications may be made with a Form W7. The tax needs to be paid as one earns money throughout the year. One must make quarterly estimated tax payments if one thinks one will owe tax. Quarterly payments should be made using Schedule SE, Form 1040. Let us study about self-employment ideas. Best self-employment ideas. Can one really be one's own boss? Can one really work for oneself and earn well at the same time? Is it practically possible in times when the economy worldwide is bound to face severe economic crisis resulting from recession? The answer to all these questions is yes. One would always feel hesitant to give up the job and stable income and start something new on their own, especially during times like these. However, the fact is that even though President Barack Obama has a $447 billion jobs plan which focuses in reducing the unemployment rate and maintaining economic growth, many critics say that there is still going to be a significant negative impact when it comes to maintaining the current jobs. So yes, there is risk whether one continues to work in a job or plan to start out on their own. Catering. One of the most sought after as well as the most rewarding self-employment ideas in 2012 are getting into the business of catering. It means people will not stop eating during recession, would they? If one loves cooking, and cooking is the ultimate stress buster for you, then there can be nothing better than getting into catering. One can start by catering for a relative or a friend and show the efficiency in the business. One can also make a business card for the same and distribute it to the guests. Highlight the speciality and versatility. Teaching. This is a good self-employment option for those who want to stick on to their current job and start a part-time income at the same time. If one thinks one is fairly good in academics and can use the teaching skills to teach others, then what is one waiting for? There are many students who look for personal coaching in subjects that may appear challenging to them. Repair services. Another business that one can probably consider in 2012, provided one has the necessary skills and experience in the field, is repair business. Well, even though there can be less jobs in 2012, that does not mean that daily household things would not need repairs, and no matter what, people would prefer getting the machine repaired instead of buying a new one. So if one thinks that one has what it takes to start out on their own, then why not go ahead and do that, instead of the boss sitting on the head and telling one how to do the job. Internet. Even the internet these days has lots of different options to make money. One is sure one must have gone through various advertisements saying, "College student, homemaker earn $300 a day working online from home." There are various data entry jobs that can be done sitting at home itself. Apart from that, if one thinks one is good at counseling people with their troubles and confusions in life and relationships, then one can also become an online counselor. Photography. Well, though this option is limited to people with the passion of capturing the moment, it is definitely something that can bring in some good money without forcing oneself to do the job. If the friends, or most importantly, if one thinks that one has a good eye in capturing the best from life in the camera, then start on with the photography services. Event organizer. Event organizers are responsible for the production of events from conception through to completion. Events can include exhibitions and fairs, festivals, conferences, promotions and product launches, fundraising and social events. They work in the public, private, and not-for-profit sectors and can work for an event management companies, in-house, for an organization, or freelance. Art and crafts. Again, a creative and innovative interest and skill in the field of arts and crafts can be the key to successful earning and give one an opportunity to enjoy what one does at the same time. Again, one can start this as a part-time job. One can first spread the news in the neighborhood that one is selling and/or teaching to make various arts and craft items, like knitting tablecloths, sofa covers, cushions, candle making, paper mache, painting, or whatever one wants to display as a creative niche. People are looking forward to learn new and creative techniques to start their own thing. In-home care. This job demands a lot of physical and emotional energy, as one has to deal with people who are not fit to take care of themselves. Therefore, if one really has the passion for this kind of job, only then it will be suitable for you. Though the best part is that whether there is recession or not, the need for home health aid will always be there no matter what. Most common risks of self-employment. Becoming self-employed can be very rewarding. However, at the same time, it is a decision fraught with risks that need to be countered and balanced carefully. The reason for this is that there are many disadvantages of being self-employed. Here are some disadvantages or risks of being self-employed that one should try to avoid. Not enough funds. Funds are needed to not only establish a business, but also run it. Most experts suggest that entrepreneurs should have 1 year's worth of running funds available to cope with the risks of self-employment. Without sufficient funds, the business's day-to-day operations will get disrupted. This would naturally cause the business to suffer. Inexperience. Running a business involves knowing many things. For example, one needs to have experience in administration and man management. If one is inexperienced in such simple but crucial aspects of running a business, then one needs to acquire the experience. One needs to constantly educate and teach by reading, researching, and attending seminars. Insufficient planning. If one does not have a good business plan, then one would not be able to cope with the risks of self-employment. Planning is vital for the business to succeed, even if the business plan is no longer than 2 pages. No market research. Understanding customers and their behaviors is absolutely critical when it comes to nullifying the disadvantages of self-employment. One needs to do in-depth market research to figure out what kind of customers or clients one is targeting, whether they are private citizens or organizations, where are they located, how big they are, what age are they, what sex they are, and a number of other demographics as well. Poor pricing. It is very easy for a new business owner to price his products and services too low to be competitors. Similarly, new business owners are also prone to pricing their services and products too high. Pricing is important for a business owner because it is closely related to 2 risks of self-employment. Low motivation levels. Running a business is a full-time thing. One will have to be available virtually all the time. There will be crises at all times in the day, which will emotionally affect you. If the motivation levels are not right, then one will never be able to succeed in the venture. Unforeseeable circumstances. In some situations, some people just end up being unlucky with their businesses. Unforeseeable circumstances are the most common risks of self-employment. Because they cannot be predicted, such situations cannot be planned for. This means that they usually catch the business unawares. Now in the end, let us summarize what we have learned in this lecture. Self-employment is a form of labor market status, which may encompass a wide range of different activity. To gain an understanding of the positive reasons why individuals might choose to become self-employed in order to venture a new business, a range of underlying motivations might be considered. The issue of analysis of self-employment concept is accentuated by the fact that the majority of scientists argued that self-employment cannot be identified as entrepreneurship. Analysis of self-employment and its subject concept showed that authors interpret this phenomenon differently due to the different laws in their countries. There are very few economic theories exclusively dealing with self-employment in the literature. The most likely reason is that economic theories that analyze self-employment and entrepreneurship often coincide and supplement each other.